Hello and welcome to another episode of Laptop Retrospective, and today we have another product from Maono. And you've probably seen this company show up on the channel a few times over the last few years. It's definitely a brand that I enjoy working with because I think they make a good product at a good price point. Now, before I continue, I will fully disclose that Maono did provide this microphone for the purposes of this review. I did not personally purchase this, however, my reviews and my opinions remain my own. So this is the Maono PD100X, and this is the RGB variant. It comes in a few different kits and variants that are available out there. And it also works with Maono Link, which is a proprietary software kit that they use to adjust some of the settings of the microphone, as well as the LED RGBs that are located in the base that you can see there. So we'll be messing around with that a little bit as well. A couple of other things to point out is that this unit does come with the portable stand. It has both XLR and USB Type-C connections. It has a 2-in-1 digital knob, which we'll take a look at that, the programmable RGB, and then it has a touch mute button, which if you've seen any of my other microphone videos is a big plus for me, because you don't have to worry about clicks or pressing on the microphone excessively hard to initiate the mute function. So that's always nice to see. Other things to point out is that we are dealing with a dynamic capsule with a cardioid pattern and has a built-in wind foam. And it is compatible with PC, smartphone, and game consoles, but for today we'll be testing it on the PC. Let's go ahead and open the box and see what we get on the inside. So we've got a pretty comprehensive color manual here, which again, always appreciate the extra effort. Talks about all the different systems that you can plug it into, how you can configure it. It is compatible with boom stands as well, which is excellent. So we've got the capsule itself, and then I'm going to guess that's the base, and nothing else on the inside. So here's our size adjustment screw to make sure it'll fit the base that we have. And then we have a USB Type-C to USB Type-C with a USB Type-A adapter connected to the front there. Really nice touch, one cable. It's going to work on pretty much everything that you've got. So the very first thing that I'll say is that this white with no light is definitely something I'm not used to seeing on a Maono. They're just usually so sleek and black, but we'll power that up and change the color right away. The capsule itself is very, very light. We have the wind foam here present. We have a very soft touch button for adjusting the headphone volume and the microphone gain, which is really, really nice. And then if we spin this around on the bottom, we can see a button for what I'm guessing is turning the light on and off. The USB Type-C connection, a headphone pass-through so you can hear what other people are going to hear, and then your XLR connection if you're using this with a more sophisticated setup. The thumb screw on the stand here is good. You can kind of tighten that down. The construction is primarily plastic from what I can tell. But the screw threads look like they're metal, so you shouldn't have to worry too much about over-tightening, but you probably want to be careful. So let's plug this in, do some audio tests, and also check out the Maono Link software package. Alright, so this is the audio coming through the Maono PD100X. I do apologize for the more guerrilla style of filming here. For whatever reason, the application is not being picked up by OBS, so I want to make sure that we can walk through and see what options that we have in terms of adjusting on this microphone. So if we go in here, we can see what's called light linkage. Will automatically turn off RGB, which we don't really care about. We see the gain here, which I believe, yes, I can also adjust on the knob here on the front. And then headphone volume, if I press in this button, I can adjust it here as well. So that checks out. And then we have some tones here. Currently it's on original. Turning this over, this is natural. And then turning it over to deep, that's what this sounds like, and I'll hear it in post, I suppose. But we'll stick with original for now. So when it comes to the lighting, we can set it to a variety of colors by the looks of things. There's a static option, a pulse, and dynamic. And there are some preset RGB colors here at the bottom. I am going to be interested to see if I can find a more advanced system. This part here seems to be grayed out and unavailable. There we go. Switching over to advanced, apparently now I can see this right-hand side of the menu where we can work with gain and headphone volume again, and then we've got a limiter, compressor, and then noise cancellation. So the one thing that I'm not seeing in these menus, and it could just be because I don't know where to find it, is how to actually change to colors other than these. That's not particularly clear if I can even do that, which would be too bad because I want to make this thing red, like track point red. But again, I'm not seeing exactly how to do that. If you do know how to do that in Maono Link, make sure you're leaving it in the comment section down below so I can catch myself up. In the meantime, I'm going to pick this amber color because it kind of reminds me of the old school amber lights that used to be in a car that I owned many years ago. All right, this lighting is cool. It goes up and down based on the level meter. That's neat. Still wish I could find a way to pick the color that I want, though. I can also change the brightness, but changing the brightness also changes kind of the color tone as well. And I'll put it back on the main camera here so you can see that the color from the capsule is kind of coming internally. This case on the outside diffuses the color somewhat. And the other thing that I'll point out is that there's some indicator lights here along the bottom that tell you what the gain is. What I find interesting, though, and this might just be like cultural design differences, is that when I turn the dial down, the LEDs decrease from this side, and for whatever reason, but it does the job of telling me what status it's at. I'm just, again, small thing, not used to seeing that. And then, of course, a little bit of a joke, of course, that is the mute microphone button. And when you do that, all of the LEDs down here turn red, indicating that it is indeed off. Overall, I would say that this is a pretty decent piece of kit. You'll have heard the audio quality that it's capable of throughout the second half of this video, so you can judge for yourself. I'll leave some links in the description down below if this sounds like something that you would want to add to your collection of audio equipment. And I'm going to continue to work on whether or not I can figure out how to change the color of the light, because the 5 color choices, for me, is one of the things that I would say if I cared about RGB, which I don't terribly, but if I was going to have it, I'd want it to be able to set it to the color that I want. At any rate, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.